Hi, my name is Alistair. As you know, I've been building a Monoposto for the last 4 years, and I took it for its MOT because I thought the build was pretty well finished. But the MOT revealed a couple of problems with the differential. The first problem was that the diff is stiff. It had a lot of bit of stiction, and also it didn't act as a differential. It was like it was locked up, like a drift car. I'll let you see what. Here is one end of the differential. I've disassembled the whole assembly. This is an offset differential, and here is the hub that you attach the wheel to and the brake drum, and this is the back plate for the brakes. And if you look under there isn't a lot of room for the bottom end of the bearing housing, and that was what was causing some of the stiction. What I've done is I've put a step in this casting. This is casting is a copy of it's an adapter basically between the Morris Minor hydraulic brakes and the Austin 7 axle, and to make more room for the bearing housing and flange, I've put a step. I don't know if you can see that. So I put a step in the casting on the milling machine. You don't need to see me, but this is the diff, and basically that's the near side drive shaft, and that's the offside drive shaft. This has been extended on the right hand side or the offside 5 inches to have an offset diff. So 2 new shafts were obtained. This one was done by friction welding, and this one was off the shelf. And as you can see, if you turn one of these relative to the other, it acts like a diff. But if, for example, you push the drive shaft, this drive shaft here, in beyond a certain limit, the thing locks up. It becomes like a drift car. So basically you have got a certain amount of tolerance between the drive shaft position and the diff, and when you come to that, it starts interfering. So the drive shaft starts interfering with the actual diff and starts grinding away at the end of the drive shaft. Now you can also hope you can see this properly. But basically I'm putting the hub onto the end of this shaft here. I'm adjusting this so that it just locks up. And then I'm going to measure between the back of this here and the bottom of the tooth on the crown wheel, the bottom of that tooth, and you can actually see it's 49 centimeters, 490 millimeters. And if you measure where it goes in the diff into this thing here, and you measure where it appears through here to here, you find that it's just 49. In other words, there's no gap. If you do the same to the other side, there's at least 5 millimeter gap. So this is the side that's giving the problem. Following on from that, with it, making the measurements a bit more accurate, I've measured the near side and offside tolerance to the drive shaft length versus the adjustment range, and you can see that here's the minimum and maximum numbers for the near side, and the minimum and maximum numbers for the offside. The maximum is the full extent at which you can stretch the drive shafts, and the minimum number is where they start to impinge on something in the differential. And here is a measurement of the casing on the near side and the casing on the off side, and you can see in the off side it's sitting right in the middle of the drive shaft range of movement, and in the case of the near side it's right bang up against the one side, so that's going to cause a problem. To compensate for the 2mm error on one side, I've made up this precision washer. Made it up in brass, but I could make it up in steel, but basically it's 2mm thick exactly, and it has the inner diameter of this bearing seat here and the outer diameter of the oil seal, the oil dust seal around here, and this completely compensates for the error in the drive shaft length. Now this is all bolted up with the shim washer in, and it's now been adjusted. The thing turns with my hand here and acts like a differential. Now just to put it back together, here's a special tool I made, a 33mm socket on one end and a 1/2 inch impact drive on the other, with a view to using the rattle gun to make sure it doesn't come loose again. Also put some Loctite on that nut. Added spacer equivalent to the centralizing the gap between the two drive shafts to optimize the adjustment range of the adjusters in the middle. This one made out of steel. Driveway testing after having the diff apart. Always give it a good road test, checking the brakes, stuff like that. Definitely looking the part. All I need is a track for a day.